This week on Face Off Hockey Show, boy howdy, the news really picked up this week, didn't it? We'll talk about the changes in Tampa, weird freaking things in Ottawa. Have you seen that? Have you heard about that? We'll talk about that. And also Seattle coming together, huh? Face Off Hockey Show right now.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Choose your command. You have chosen
the Face Off Hockey Show.
I mean, hockey is my life. I've got on hockey underwear right now.
The Face Off Hockey Show. With Scotty Waz. Sean O.
and a breakaway. Big shooting guard! There he goes!
And the P-Boys, Johnny and Mark with the C.
Yeah, baby.
You believe it not? Oh, yes!
Here's your host for the Face Off Hockey Show, Scotty Waz.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Face Off Hockey Show's here. I forgot to even mention about the Match Packs Ready thing. We'll talk to Lyle about that because I'm sure that he'll have a plenty thing to say about that. But welcome.
Twitter was all abuzz in that, what was it, the midnight to 3 a.m. crowd for that trade.
Jesus. Yeah, the drunkards really got that one. They got that one exclusive to them. So that was an interesting thing. We'll talk all about that, and we'll see if we can get Johnny into a Maryland Black Bears game this weekend.
Oh, this weekend? Ooh.
Yeah, opening weekend, 14th, 15th, at lovely Piney Orchard Ice Arena in Odenton, Maryland. Don't you dare!
Can I wear my new Metropolitan All-Star Game jersey?
Talk about that, a little bit about that. We'll kick off your week that way. You finally showed up?
So first and foremost, there's a bone to pick with Lids. Lids never sends you an email that says, hey, guess what? We've shipped your stuff. All of a sudden, it just shows up at my house. So I'm like, cool, I have a package. I have no idea where the packages come from until I get closer to my house. But they are smart enough to mark the outside of the box with the lids on the side of it. So someone knows that you got some really good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so when was it? Last Thursday, maybe?
That sounds about right.
Scotty sends me a link and says, hey, authentic All-Star Game jerseys are on sale at Lids. So I got one. I mean, what were they? They're like $110 off or something like that.
Yeah, some crazy shit. Like it probably cost you like $80. So
I think it was 90 and then tax.
There you go.
But it fits well. It's a 46. I think the 46 is the way that I should have gone with the Adidas. I have a 50 Kuznetsov that I feel like is a little too big, but I might keep it.
There you go.
I don't know.
See how it's going.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Maybe I'll get fat at some point.
Then
it'll fit me.
Or get sick ripped. Who's to say?
Yeah, that's it. Who's to say? Or I'll just walk around with shoulder pads on underneath of it.
Well, whatever. Yeah. So, what did you do with your week?
So I got a new jersey. What else did I do? I had a 40th birthday party in Arlington for one of the guys that was on the wrestling team in college. Went down there at like 2 o'clock ish, left at like 9 p.m. Came home. Friday night. Oh, I almost forgot. Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking back through things. I almost forgot. Friday night, I went to independent wrestling.
How great was that?
It was Evolve 112, I believe, was what I went to. We went because Bailey Death's favorite wrestler right now is the Velveteen Dream, and he was wrestling at said event. So I walk in, and well, first and foremost, we're driving there. We're driving to get to the place, And the directions are like, hey, so this arena is off to the right in this like strip mall. And I was like, huh, check that out. It's in a strip mall. And they're like, yeah, it gets better. Just wait for it. I'm like, all right. So we go inside. We scan the tickets. We find our seats. We're like, hey, I'm like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. They're like, okay, the bathroom is through the Amish market. Not even joking. Amish market, you walked through. There was an oil painted Wayne Gretzky. There was memorabilia, a Hulk Hogan boot, a Sting mask, autographed stuff. That God knows if it's real or not. An entire booth of action figures. It was amazing. This place was fantastic. I might actually go back to the Joppa Amish market just to see if it's like as good as I thought it would be, just by walking through to go to the bathroom.
Jesus.
So then we get in the place, and the ceiling is maybe 15 feet high. The ring
that's about right.
posts, the ring posts, I think, go up 12 feet.
Jesus.
Like there were points early in the matches where like people would get on the top rope to do something, and somebody in the crowd would be like, "Watch your head."
That's amazing.
I saw at least 3 professional wrestlers that were smaller than me,
That is the independent scene these days, brother.
and they were all guys.
Well, yeah, that's even
I
better.
wasn't even counting the girl. But Penelope Ford was great.
Mm-hmm.
We saw her; she was great. The Velveteen Dream was fantastic. Yeah, he's funny. He's good. He's a good wrestler. He sells things well.
And he's from that area where you're talking about in Joppa is home of Maryland Championship Wrestling, and he is a graduate of Maryland Championship Wrestling.
It was the MCW Arena is where we went.
Yeah, beautiful Joppa, Maryland.
Yep.
I've seen pictures, and it seems like an experience. And the experience you describe is the experience I was thinking it would be.
Oh no, it's an experiance.
Yeah.
Yeah. We paid $30 for the tickets because we wanted to be close. We were but this is how Bailey thinks. She's smart. She's like, hey, we want to be close, but we don't want to be front row close. So let's get second row seats.
Nice.
We were in a section though where there was no one behind us, so I could like stand up if I couldn't see things. There were people getting thrown into the barricades that were like right in front of us. It was fantastic. It was a fun event. It was extremely fun. There were parts of the event where I kind of looked at and I was like, people that size shouldn't be able to do that. Like at one point, I think we were watching WW or NXT before we left. And I was like, did that guy just do a double flip off the top rope? And Death's like, yep. And I was like, there's zero chance you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
But it was cool. It was fun. It was a fun time. If Evolve is doing something when you guys are in town next, we should go. The wrestlers from this was okay. So I'll back up to the beginning of the show. The funniest part of the entire thing was like the first match. They come out, 2 guys. I have no idea who they are. The card is upstairs. I was going to bring it down and run off some names, but I forgot it. So we're just hanging out, right? And this guy who eventually is Austin Theory, had no idea who he was, is selling merchandise behind the table. First match goes on. People are like beating the crap out of each other and whatnot. And all of a sudden he comes running through the fans. He wanted to be in on it. He wanted to get the microphone and call out the Velveteen Dream early in the pay-per-view. So yeah, it was interesting. It was like I kind of liken it to an indie pop concert. Kind of like a Matt Wirtz concert, where it was like 2 or 3 people that you never really heard of, and like one headliner. But then all of a sudden, you're like just hanging out, talking to your friends, and he's like standing next to you, signing autographs.
Right.
So it was cool. It was fun. I had a good time.
Good. Nice.
Had a good time. Yeah. At one point, some guy actually climbed up the pole that was in the middle of the entire ballroom, over top of one of the corners of the ring, and just dove off of the pole into a group of people. He climbed all the way to the ceiling.
Wow.
Yeah.
To the windows, to the walls.
Yeah. So Evolve 112. Maybe I'll get the DVD if I go back.
There you go. Maybe see yourself.
I had $10 in merchandise credit because of the tickets that we bought, but we couldn't really find anything to buy.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because everything.
I didn't wear the luchador mask though. I'm really happy I did not, because it was warm as all hell in that room.
And I think one of the biggest things is that when you see the guys selling their own merch, you're like, yeah, no, these guys are nowhere near the ideal. They're nowhere close to WWE. These guys have day jobs, for Christ's sake. They had to cut out early from their day job to come to Joppa, and
I mean, it started at 8 p.m.
Right? Well, some of these guys are traveling from like Philly and New York.
It did go 3 hours though. It was a pretty good length of time.
That's pretty good.
There were like 9 matches or something like that.
That's not terrible. It's good.
They had an intermission. They had a halftime.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was fun. It was a good time. I almost buried the lead.
Yeah, I know. We talked it all up last week, and we almost forget about it this week. My God.
Yeah. I almost buried the lead.
Though at the same time, I have no idea what time and space is these days. It very well could be like the hockey season could be starting tomorrow. In actuality, it starts Friday, and the Maryland Black Bears do battle against the New Jersey Titans at Piney Orchard Ice Arena. So there you go. I'm not going to bury the lead on this one, Johnny. If you're done with your week,
I think I'm good. Knock it out of the park.
Chesapeake Hockey Week has premiered, ladies and gentlemen. Season 1, Episode 1, on the board. So proud of that. Short show because I forgot. Hey, doing a hockey show early September, primarily based in Maryland, when none of the Maryland kids are actually out there. A bit problematic. Also, Blog Talk Radio was a bit problematic. This week. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's that. What did I do this weekend? Oh, we had a housewarming campfire dealio for one of our coworkers.
Oh,
so that was cool.
I was like, you burned down the house already?
Yeah, well, burning down the house. It was great. No, did that. And it was also a send-off as McCall goes back to St. Cloud, so my drinking buddy's gone, so my liver can heal. So
yeah, but I feel like you're kind of like a teacher, though, right? Like teachers work like 9 months out of the year. I feel like you get in just as much drinking in this summertime when McCall's around for the rest of the 9 months for you to try out.
Yeah, no, I'm the reverse teacher where I have three months of work and then 9 months off. So there was that. Funny it was announced today that our boyfriend John Lazat is alternate captain for your St. Cloud State Huskies this year.
Nice.
So huzzah to that. I got my stuff from Lids too. Again, you are dead on. It's just like it's here. Oh, it got delivered. Like, okay. Bitchin'. I got my Caps Championship hat, my $10 Caps Championship hat.
Nice.
Got a slick, got a 2X, aka goal shirt for fat boy over here.
You got a goalie shirt?
No, a goal shirt, a shirt that I can get down to a 2X. Even though the 2X is really good. Of the Stanley Cup champion, I got a Maryland hat.
Oh, a goal shirt. I got it now.
A slick new Maryland hat. And a couple of Oyos. Although the one Oyo that I bought, which was the Caps rink, they said they were out of. So I'm like, well, go to hell. So I had to buy it off eBay. But I bought some more Caps championship stuff, John. I don't know if you've seen this or if you've heard about this.
I don't know.
The Caps are putting out a book.
A book.
A book. So it's the Caps book, the authentic 2018 Stanley Cup champion All Ours commemorative book. It has the foreword by Alex Ovechkin, introduction by Brian McClellan, preface by Ted Leonsis, afterword by Brooks Orpik, and original essays by Nick Backstrom and Tom Wilson.
Interesting.
It is season ticket.
I hope that the foreword by Alex Ovechkin just says, "We won't be fucking suck this year."
By the way, can we have a little bit more build up because there's a forward, an introduction, and a preface? Like,
that's fine. That's fine. It's like the first 43 years of existence,
right? Season ticket members will actually get this with their season ticket package, so that's pretty cool for them. But I bought it when I saw it online. I'm like, yes. I also bought a what did I buy? I bought a Caps like puck holder that I'm gonna put the Stanley Cup champions puck in.
Nice.
And then they had the 100th anniversary logo T-shirt like on deep discount. So I'm like, I'll buy one of those. Why not? And there you go. And that was my Scotty buys more Stanley Cup gear that he doesn't need, but he needs it though. But for real though,
it might not ever happen again. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, I was lucky it happened this time. If not now, when? Never. That's probably when.
I mean, you're gonna have to come up with a new gimmick,
right?
Or we can just see if the same one works 2 years in a row.
Oh, I think the same one will work. We'll just do the all roads lead to Alan. Do Alan May as the ender.
Nice. There you go.
Then for the three-peat, don't fear a three-peat. Eric Fair will have the don't fear.
Wow.
See?
F-16.
Booyah. So yeah, that was my week of buying crap. Does look like a slick book though. I'm like, yeah, everything Caps Stanley Cup thing. I'm just like you said, it's gonna happen again. Once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
Hey, next week we got somebody on the show. If that's
we should.
We should.
I have to email him on Monday to make sure he's still doing this.
Adam Scorgi, Making Coco is the new documentary about Grant Fuhr. Seems interesting from the clips I've seen. We have not gotten the preview copy yet. Watch Mark.
Well, I don't think we're going to, because I think that I went directly to him this time and not through the producing group.
See, that'll do it. Oh well, what can we do? In any case, he will be on next week to talk about this, and yeah, it's a good dude. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the week I did. I did nothing this week. I got off. Oh, Todd P. Butts is in the vicinity. He's in a 3-hour vicinity of me.
Oh,
he is working in Alexandria, Minnesota, and there's a possibility of a Pit Stop Radio / In the Draft Show meetup on Friday where we have giant potatoes with meat stuffed in it. It's not a euphemism. Not a euphemism. But it's there. So there we go.
Just hang it out there. See what
hanging
happens.
Up, being bros. Just being bros, broing down.
Is there an opportunity for a live Pit Stop Radio?
No.
Or In the Draft?
No. We realized, we got to tape the show on Thursday for a Friday release. We're going to meet up on Friday. Well, there's no going to be a live show. All right, that's fine. That way he can't see me playing on my phone. Or looking at eBay.
For more diecasts.
Right, exactly. To see if there's any weird hockey diecast that I can find. All right, let's get some injury stuff. We do have injuries.
There's injuries.
There's injuries, buddy. There's injury. We're getting to the season. Training camps have opened. Teams have gone. There are teams in China right now.
What?
As preseason
Do they know
starts,
that area?
I kind of. It's hell of a jet lag, though.
See what condition my condition was in.
Yeah, oh yeah,
what condition my condition was in.
That's right. Preseason starts this Saturday, 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time, as the Boston Bruins will take on the Calgary Flames at the Shenzhen Universidad Sports Center in Shenzhen, China. So don't you dare miss it. Also, junior hockey starting up this week as the NHL Network is broadcasting the Humboldt Broncos opening night tonight as we speak. So that's a thing that's going on. Of course,
Nice.
This is 4 or 5 months, 5 months after the crash happened. So there's that. Yeah, some injury news. Andrew McDonald of the Philadelphia Flyers is going to be out 6 weeks with a lower body injury. Shocking. The Montreal Canadiens have said that Shea Weber will not be ready until about July, February, making
2020.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
making. Oh Christ, you're probably not wrong. Yeah, it's a time for them. They are having themselves a time.
Whew.
And it was announced today that Jake Allen, goaltender for your St. Louis Blues, will be out 10 to 14 days with back spasms. Sure, he'll be back. He won't be there for the start of training camp, but damn it, he is going to be there. And boy, howdy, that's going to be a fun time, right? Oh,
I'm
boy.
sure that playing goalie with back spasms is probably the last thing you want to do.
You're constantly in a crouch. It's not a fun time. I just think this is going to be a start of something great, and it's going to be the start of the Jake Allen. It's constantly injured, so don't
right,
you dare
Jake.
miss that. All right, let's get to some Patreon pick stuff, Johnny.
All right. Patreon.
Patreon.com/Faceoff Hockey Show if you want to donate. You can be like Matthew, Damon, Mark, Trista, our newest friend, I think Chris, Mitch, Brad, Angela, and Sean. They're all getting some stuff. If you go to patreon.com, you can join in on the fun. Yeah, so we appreciate it. Everything goes towards advertising, upgrading, do what we need to do. Coke and hookers being one of them. All right, the Patreon pick this week. My favorite. Former players as general managers.
Oh, okay.
This coming off the heels of Steve Yzerman's announcement that he is stepping down as general manager and moving into a senior advisor role. Julien Bourgeois will be the GM for the Tampa Bay Lightning. A lot of people now speculating Stevie Y is going to wait for this year to sit out and then go to Detroit, go back home. People very hopeful. We'll see. Steve Yzerman said family reasons are the reason he steps aside. And Johnny, when you think about it overall, Steve Yzerman probably the top, I would say top 3 former players to become general managers to be as successful as he's been.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that completely.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe Sakic is in that list. Maybe not top 3, but he's a player general manager.
Mm-hmm.
Doug
Doug Wilson for the longest time.
Wilson, yeah. Wow, I forgot about him.
Yep, one of the last guys to play without a helmet. Very successful. But then you got guys like Brett Hall, who wasn't successful at all in the least.
No.
That half year he spent
Wayne Gretzky was never a GM, right?
He was owner coach.
Owner coach, nice.
Yeah.
Eddie says Dale Talon.
Dale Talon is a good one, yeah. And a lot of older guys, and you seem
and also Bret Hart.
Bret Hart was not a GM. He was an owner of the Calgary Hitmen. Him and Theo Fleury and a couple other people. But he was sadly not the GM. Though I would love it if he was. It'd be great if he was. A lot of the guys you see that are successful, like Ken Holland, Jim Rutherford, those guys were like backup goaltenders in the AHL. So not, former players, yes, but not really former players. No.
But is this like a a tangent to the postulate of the like good player, not good coach thing? Like, does that turn into a GM role as well? Like, were you better at seeing talent and how people play if you weren't like a really great player? Or are you just more competitive because you're a really great player and that also makes you a great GM? Like, how does that work?
I think it's for guys like Rutherford and Holland and guys who were backup goalies or whatever. They were able to scout talent a little better. They had that eye for, hey, here's a guy who is tough to handle. Here's a guy who has speed. Here's a guy who's not so fast. You can go this way, that way, or the other, and they can pick out talent that way. Whereas
Well, they
a guy
also watched a lot of games from the ice.
sure, no, absolutely, and then you get that extra side level. But I mean, I don't think great player like Brett Hall. Brett Hall is the one I keep coming back to because that was just such a debacle. Gretzky as a coach, I think, was a terrible idea. So it's things you can't coach greatness situation.
Yeah, but yeah. I mean, we've talked about it before. Like, great players are not great coaches because they can't explain how they did things.
No, they just did it.
Like, it just came to them. That they were just good at it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at any of these guys now who have a business, because we talk about former players becoming coaches because a lot of the Caps hired former players who were coaches, Hunter and Hall inclusive to that. I think probably the most successful player. I'm trying to think if there's who's the most successful player who turned to a GM. If it wasn't Jimmy Rutherford or if it wasn't Ken Holland, I almost have to think Ken Holland.
Yeah, you'd have to go Ken Holland. I mean, he was the GM for a lot of those like good years for Detroit.
Well, he's been GM since I've been alive, I think.
Yeah. So he's won cups and such.
David Poile was never a player. He just crushed a lot. Oh shit! Son.
Oh.
That
Especially with that hair grease.
Jeez, hair grease. He just dumped the whole thing of shoe polish on his head. Yeah, no, I'm trying to think.
I don't know. I mean, I have a feeling that Yzerman is up on that list.
Glenn Sather.
Glenn Sather.
Yeah. He was of that.
He had a good run for a while with the Rangers.
And he was part of the Oilers, the GM of the Oilers dynasty, I think. He was the coach of the Oilers dynasty, I think. And then he was the GM of the. I don't remember. Let me check. But Sather was an original Penguin for Pete's sake.
Oh, well, geez.
Let's see. Did he GM the Edmonton Oilers there?
This neon yellow is very bright, by the way.
Seems
Extremely
like
bright. They did a good job with the neon yellow.
There you go. Of course it doesn't give me. Why would it give me the GM? Who these GMs were? Jesus Christ. Why can't you just why there's Wikipedia articles about everything? Why not NHL players who became GMs? Now watch me type it in and go from there. Your ultimate Grantland from 2015. I don't think that's accurate. Don't think it's an accurate representation. Good players turn bad execs. SI.com is probably there.
Perfect.
Jason Botterill is a guy who's now a player going into the general manager role. So,
he hasn't really had a chance yet.
No. Don Sweeney, former player. So there's that. Oh, they actually do have a list of pro. Oh, here we go. Johnny P. I found it. Doug Wilson on there. Jim Rutherford on there. Ronnie Hextall. Would you consider Ronnie Hextall a good GM?
Right now?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm going to say in like 3 years, yes. Because I have a feeling that this Flyers team is going to be scary good in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I think you're. They just need to find goaltending.
With all the young defensemen that they have coming up, and like, oh, I mean, that team could actually be a lot of fun to watch in like 2 or 3 years. Yeah, and they just have to find a goaltender. I mean, they can trade for one of the Caps goalies. It worked so well last time.
It did. Rob Blake, I forgot he was the GM of the Kings.
Wow.
Short sample size. He's only been there a year.
Yeah, I don't think that's long enough.
No. Mark Bergevin.
I would not have said that Mark Bergevin played hockey.
Really?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I would not have even put that in on him.
Wow. Let me see. I think he won a cup. I think he won a couple cups. He played for the Blackhawks, Islanders, Whalers, Lightning, Red Wings, Blues, Penguins, and Canucks. He played
it was probably all before I started watching hockey, though.
Played almost 1,200 games.
That's fine.
Between 1984 to 2004.
Tonight's haha fuck you is the last game Mark Bergevin played it. Fantastic.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. What am I doing? Come on, Kaspersky. Jesus. Anyway.
AJ said that the Jerry is still out on Hextall.
Yeah, I'd say.
But Eddie says no, and I don't know if that's for Hextall or not. And the timing of these things coming in is a bit weird.
Yeah, preference who you're trying to say no to, ladies and gentlemen, if you would be so kind. Yeah, Bergevin played years, and it's shocking.
Hey, we have 3 viewers right now. 2 people are talking to us. It's amazing.
I love it. Brian McClellan played. Oh. I would say he's a successful GM because he is a Stanley Cup champion.
He is a Stanley Cup champion. You know what? George McPhee also played.
He did.
You put George McPhee on that list, though, of successful GMs.
Yes, and here's why. Each of the teams that he's GM'd took him to the Stanley Cup the first year.
Wow.
Because he took over the Caps in '98 from Poyle, I think. And then they probably took over sooner.
And then what? He just kind of like held on for the best until he was done his time in Washington.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, in his first season, he took the Caps to the Cup. First season, took the Knights to the Cup. That's pretty exceptional, I'd say.
AJ says Bob Murray is a former player.
He is. Bob Murray.
A bunch of Blackhawks, Demon, and Whalers.
Yeah, essentially. The current GMs who are now who were players: Bob Murray, Don Sweeney, Jason Botterill, Brad Treliving, Don Waddell. I forgot he was the GM of the Hurricanes. Holy shit. Joe Sakic, Jarmo Kekalainen, Jim Nill, Ken Holland, Peter Chiarelli, Dale Talon, Rob Blake, Paul Fenton, Mark Bergevin, David Poyle played a year apparently. Hextall, Rutherford, Dougie Wilson, Jim Benning, George McPhee, Brian McClellan, and Kevin Cheveldayoff. All former pros.
That's like half the league.
Kinda more than half the league.
Interesting.
I don't know if it depends on pass fail. Like good idea, bad idea with these guys. I don't know. I think some of these guys you're like, oh, I didn't know these guys played. That's kind of the situation where it's like, oh yeah, they probably were like super backups, but at the same time they got the job done somehow.
But that's also that's what we're saying though. Like that's what I think the outliers in that is the Ron Hextall, the Joe Sakic, the Steve Yzerman. Who knows what's going to occur with Rob Blake? But the Rob Blake, like these were players that were like really good. Mm-hmm. Well, at least that I know. Let's put it that way. Like Bergevin could have been really good as well. He played 1,200 games, like you said. So like these are the guys that I know that were like actually really good players. And McPhee was a Hobey Baker winner, but he never really panned out in the NHL from what I remember.
No. Well, same with McClellan. McClellan had a cup of coffee. with the Flame. I think he won a cup with the Flames, but like he wasn't a big key player. Glenn Sather could be top of that list. Glenn Sather won 5 Stanley Cups and 6 finals appearances.
Wow.
With the Oilers. He was there for 20 years. And this is after he played over 600 NHL games. Across the board, different places. Bruins, Penguins, Rangers, Blues, Canadians, North Stars, Oilers. Well, he finished out the Oilers in the WHA. So he's a guy who definitely, I think, probably number one on that list for former players as GM. Then maybe you put Yzerman. Well, I don't know what constitutes a good GM. I guess. Like, did he win a Stanley Cup with it? Does George McPhee get credit for building this Caps team? What was it? 17 players he drafted.
Yeah, he drafted them. But I don't know. I mean, McPhee drafted the Caps team, right? I mean, if we're just going to stick on the Caps real quick.
Sure.
McPhee drafted a lot of the players that the Caps had that won the Stanley Cup. But he didn't make the moves that Brian McClellan made in order to make the team good enough to win the Stanley Cup.
That's more than fair.
Right. So I there's a foundation, great, but at some point you got to put the trim around the windows.
Right. I don't know what that means. I think you had a meeting with your homeowners association after that quote.
Probably. I need grass. I need to grow grass again.
Oh,
even though there's grass growing outside, they have no idea what grass looks like.
It's like Mr.
Put
Burns.
it with the grass.
It's like Mr. Burns with the sideburns. Told you to trim those sideburns. You're off the team.
I don't get it.
How would you rate Steve Yzerman? Do you think Steve Yzerman did a better than average job for his first go around as a GM?
I think Steve Yzerman took a team that was in turmoil at the time when he took over, and he gave them stability. Now, he hasn't taken them to a Stanley Cup final, from what I remember.
No, he did.
And he hasn't won a Stanley Cup.
That's true. He didn't win, but he took them to the one in 2013 against the Blackhawks.
Oh, all right.
I think.
So maybe. I mean, he's not as good as Brian McClellan.
No. Well, who are?
And obviously not as good as Sather.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Yzerman has gone down farther on the list. Maybe Yzerman was just the person that we knew off the top of our head because we were talking about him stepping back so that he could take a different job next year.
Mm-hmm. Of course, Yzerman took over in 2010, 1 Stanley Cup final appearance, general manager of the year, 1 conference title, 1 division title, 5 playoff appearances. This is after
finally feeling bad for stealing our waitress.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't. Fuck him. He's gonna steal someone else's waitress. Brian Lawton. This is after the Brian Lawton debacle, and the. Wow, am I reading this right?
Wasn't that the Saw guys?
Yeah, he was. That was during, and it was during the 43-day interim GM-ship of Tom Curvers. Tom Curvers was GM of the Tampa Bay Lightning for 43 days. Interim.
They were looking for somebody. Steve Yzerman.
You can go without a GM when you're out of the playoffs.
No, you have to have a GM, I'm sure.
Okay.
I mean, they could have just appointed anybody at that point, though, right? Like,
they could have named Jigsaw the GM, for Christ's sake.
Well, he was good at games.
He was. So yeah, there we go.
Saw 14 coming out in theaters.
Saw 14. Search for a second scoring winger. Would you like to play a game? Do you think you can shoot on your off wing? Stuff like that. Hockey.
Yeah.
Jigsaw
starts cutting up people and sewing them together for a second line right winger.
All right. Well, we've done it. There we go. Patreon pick.
The Patreon pig is getting good.
It's getting good. It's getting better. As we
Yeah,
get
have
more
some
hockey,
good things to talk about.
as we get more hockey, I'm sure we'll have more talk about. Other news.
I like the abstract ones, the abstract questions.
Yeah. They're good. The abstracts are good. Our Patreons who contribute to this poll are good. They're good at what they do, which is vote. John Tortorella signed a 2-year extension with your Columbus Blue Jackets. Huzzah!
It's great. That's great.
Did you see the odd video that the Ottawa Senators put out on Monday?
I did not. I've seen tweets about the odd video that the Senators put out, but I think mostly they're from you and Jen. I have not seen them. You know, the only thing that's really weird about this jersey is that these laces right here are completely fake, but they're not. They're like real, but you can't pull on them or anything. They're like sewed on.
It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah. But it's real laces. I don't get it. Whose idea was that?
Someone from Adidas.
Probably.
I'm betting. So this video is cringe factor 15. So Mark Borowski was sitting in a chair, and next to him was Eugene Melnick in an old, like mid to late 2000 Reebok jersey. And Borowski was just throwing him softballs, and Eugene Melnick was just blathering on about, people say there's gonna be the team's gonna move. This team's not gonna move. I'm not gonna move this team. I'm not moving anywhere. We're not moving anywhere. We're rebuilding the team. Rebuild. I'm happy. You're happy. That means everyone's gonna be happy. Then I'm happy that you're happy. It was to say it was bizarre is an understatement because there's not a stronger word we can think of in the English language. It was just awkward for a second pairing defenseman just to sit there with the owner when it should have been Erik Karlsson. You want to talk about a face-off that doesn't start John Travolta and Nick Cage?
But it could have.
It should have. Erik Karlsson with Eugene Melnick.
You would need security,
right? But Johnny, I implore you to find it and watch it. It is.
How long is this?
It's
how
five.
How much of my life is it gonna take up?
It's 5.5 minutes, but it'll feel like 30.
Okay, perfect.
So
that's what I try to tell the ladies all the time.
It could be zing. It could be the most cringe-inducing thing I've seen this week. So,
what about dinosaur porn? Have you seen that?
I'm not,
because that came up at a party this weekend. That 40th birthday party I went to. We were talking about random things, and somebody pulled up their phone and was like, "Hey, so I sent my friends a link about dinosaur porn." And it's like this guy in a dinosaur outfit. It was like furries, but like the T-Rex version. I was like, "This is random."
That would probably
cringeworthy.
No, because that's actually kind of sounds pretty hot.
The first like 4 minutes of it was the dinosaur chasing a girl around on a Segway.
That's about right. See, I would be more enthralled with that than this just sit down between two ferns cringeworthy investigation.
Okay. So dinosaur porn still better than this. Is what
God,
saying.
yeah. Jesus.
All right.
Why is that even a question?
I don't know. I was just trying to figure out what the level of cringeworthy was.
Yeah, I know, right, dude? That's amazing. It is amazing. So there's that. What else we got? Oh, Seattle's looking to get their front office and scouting staff settled in by September 2019, according to senior advisor to the Stars, Dave Tippett.
All right.
And to the Stars, I didn't mean the Dallas Stars. I meant the Stars of the Seattle ownership group. So
their WNBA team's playing well in the finals.
Oh, what is that at? Is that 2-0, 3-0?
That's 2-0, but it's only a best of 5. So I'm guessing they're coming back to Washington, and then it could actually. I think they're going to play in GW. They don't actually play in the arena.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But I got to see Key Arena. That was on. Unless they weren't even in Key. They might not have even been in Key Arena. I feel like that's gone.
No, Key Arena's still there. They were going to revamp it.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing that the WNBA teams hung out there. Yep, nope. It's home to the Seattle Storm and the Seattle University men's basketball team.
Yeah, all right. Key Arena is an interesting arena because if I remember correctly, you entered Key Arena in the upper deck.
Yes.
Like the entire arena is below ground.
Yes. That is true. And this just in. The Key Arena reconstruction won't begin until Seattle gets the NHL hockey team.
Oh.
So
that's an ultimatum right there. Oh, geez.
And it looks like by this artist rendering, which I doubt is true, they're going to have 2 scoreboards.
Okay. Hey, we got somebody new on the chat. Aaron is here.
Hi. Aaron or Aaron with me?
Hey.
Aaron.
It says go Storm, go.
Yes, there we go.
Maybe from the Seattle area. If you're from the Seattle area, let us know. Maybe you're an owner.
Hey. So here's the Seattle and Scotty screen share. The mock-up of the new Key Arena. 2 scoreboards.
Well, if that doesn't take the off-centered scoreboard from Barclays Center and take it up a notch, I don't know what does.
It really kind of gives it a nice little slap in the ass and say, "Don't worry, baby, I got this." Kind of bizarre.
What teams are playing?
It looks like the Seattle 2020s and the St. Louis Blues. Jake Allen is about to be pulled.
So hold on. Which team is there? So are they saying that their colors are going to be red?
I think this is just a small mock-up. Yes. Actually, hold on. It's the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators have moved to Seattle.
Oh, now I get it. I see it.
Now it makes sense. Makes that awkward video all the more fun. So there we are.
That's cool. He is from Seattle.
Interesting.
Thanks for finding us.
Yeah. Thanks, Seattle. Do you know Matt Hoff? If you do, tell him to do a 50-50. He'll know what that means and go into the fetal position. If you don't know, anybody who does know Matt Hoff, tell him to do a 50-50. He'll go in the fetal position. Some minor league hockey news. The Montreal Canadiens have added the Maine Mariners as their ECHL affiliate after a couple of years with the Brampton Beast. Don't worry, Beast fans. The Ottawa Senators got you back until they moved to Seattle, as Ottawa adds Brampton as their official ECHL affiliate. So that means Ottawa will have Binghamton and Brampton as their affiliates. All Canadian, doubling up with the Toronto Maple Leafs as the all-Canadian affiliation situation. Johnny P, we got some possible situations going on with the Nate Schmidt case.
Oh, no. Let's talk about more. We talked about some good ones last week.
We talked about some good ones, but I'm trying to find it loaded up here to find the exact quote. Because it was off of a...
I do want to say real quick that, like, minor league hockey is effectively playing like a shell game. Like, you never know which team's really affiliated to a professional team.
Until you, like, look it up.
And even then, the Wikipedia page might be a year off, so you're looking at the wrong team.
Don't worry, your boy's got it covered. And I won't give you slideshows to make it happen. So according to The Athletic's Katie Strang, who former ESPN, very great writer.
Katie. She's
Katie
fantastic.
Strang. She's awesome. She's reporting that it's very possible that Nate Schmidt's positive test was a result of eating contaminated meat.
We've gone back to the Mexican contaminated meat defense.
In 2016, NFL player Dwayne Brown tested positive for clenbuterol when he was cleared after it was traced back to tainted beef. Boxer Canelo Alvarez tested positive for the same substance in February, claiming the results from tainted beef. And a hair follicle test came back negative for clenbuterol, backing his case. And considering Nate Schmidt is often in Vegas because he plays there, a lot of contaminated stuff there, I'm sure.
Clenbuterol is that drug that wow, the tainted beef defense is fantastic.
Yeah. bump.
I haven't heard that one
Tainted
since
beef.
cycling. That's a
Right?
cycling defense. That's like that's something that somebody who is actually taking clenbuterol is like, no. We had a steak dinner last night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just short of Floyd Landis being like, no, I'm not doping. We had shots of Jim Beam. That's why I'm so spry today. Yeah, because that always occurs. When you get rip roaring drunk the night before, you can obviously ride your bike real fast the next morning.
Oh man.
Now, I will say also though that this is probably true for him.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he ate some bad beef. In all honesty.
Right. A new soft cell song.
Yeah,
Tainted
exactly.
beef.
Tainted beef. Bop bop. So there you go. Tainted
and
beef.
if you don't think that opposing fans next season when the Golden Knights are in town are going to throw meat on the ice, then you got another thing coming.
Well, after the 20-game suspension, it'd be silly if they threw it on there when he's not playing.
He still has to have the 20-game suspension.
Yeah.
But the tainted beef defense gets you off the 20-game suspension. That's what we just found out.
Apparently, they haven't imposed the tainted beef defense.
How? Everybody else knows about it. Katie knows about the tainted beef defense. Did she just make this up? Katie doesn't make things up.
No.
I've been reading her for years.
Yeah, so the tainted beef defense is out there. Whether or not, because we said last week that after the reason the suspension came down is all the reviews and stuff came at ping back. The situation was that the suspension wasn't.
Didn't know about the tainted beef defense. And had somebody just said it was clenbuterol in the first place, everybody who ever has watched cycling knows how to get out of that. That's an easy drug to get out of. I mean, fuck, come on. Everybody, all good dopers know how to get out of a doping scandal.
Right. Tainted beef. How you doing?
I mean, for a while, my cycling team was actually called the Basque Stakes.
Nice.
Because a lot of Basque cyclists would get popped for clenbuterol and be like, "Oh, I ate bad beef." Okay, you're good. Keep going. Little tap on the butt. All right, climb that mountain. Go for it.
Oh man. So yeah, there we go, kids.
So is this the NHL like making a stand? Like, I know we talked about this like at nauseum last week, but is this the NHL really making a stand and being like, we are going to suspend people if they break the rules due
That'd
to
be great.
doping?
Yeah, if you eat tainted beef, we will not have you on our
Like,
ice.
what is this really? This is like he probably got like a comped buffet after one of the games and like went to like the Win or something, and instead of eating, he probably had surf and turf. He had surf and turf one night. Now he's screwed. He misses 20 games and $500,000. That's an expensive buffet.
Hell of a buffet. Hell of a buffet.
No, I don't think even in Vegas they don't have stockades where people can mock Nate Schmidt.
They should.
Maybe if they had a medieval times.
Breaking news, Johnny.
All right.
Speaking of food, the University of Maryland Terrapins have announced something to Capital One Field at Maryland Stadium. Chicken and waffles.
Could that? Oh, wow, that's fantastic. That's actually quite amazing.
It's a strong meal.
Could that name be any longer for a stadium?
Wasn't it at Bird Stadium before? Did they just say the hell with Bird Stadium?
It used to just be called Bird Stadium.
Yeah.
And then they sold the rights, and then they tried to make it like a super long name.
Well, no, they sold the rights.
Oriole Park at Camden Yards can be called Opusy, and that's cool.
They sold the rights to just the field.
Just the field.
Just the field. So here's this chicken and waffles. Maryland imprint there too. But I love the napkins. I love that napkin work. The Maryland flag is Maryland flag is tissue paper.
Do they give you the crack as well?
They just sprinkle a little crack on it. It's fine.
No wonder everybody keeps getting chicken and waffles.
Right? Oh man.
Here's some blow.
Your boy needs to get some of that tissue paper though. I'm not even lying to you.
I have a feeling that like they could make like rolls of toilet paper that just came out one sheet black and gold and the other sheet red and white, and in the form of the Maryland flag, and you'd be like, give me 25.
I would not disrespect the flag like that. I would put it up like banners, but I wouldn't wipe my ass with it.
What if it was the Massachusetts flag?
Oh yeah, for sure. If it was the Ohio flag, I'd be worried about it trailing off when I wipe.
Yeah, but if you got the Texas flag doesn't run.
Ah! Sing. And everything's bigger there too.
Right. So the roll will be bigger. You can't. The roll's so damn big, you can't even fit it on a standard size toilet paper holder.
No, you have to use like one of those.
You have to put it on the back of the toilet until you use it for a couple weeks, and then you can put it on the holder.
I was gonna say like one of those wire wheels. What is it? The big fucking things that college kids use as tables. Spindles?
Yeah, spindle. Yeah, wire spindle.
Yeah, wire spindle. You put it on that, and that's the Texas flag toilet paper.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
That works for me. Holy ish.
Wow. God, 2 weeks of doping talk. It's amazing.
Hey, we'll make it 3 next week when we have the tainted beef defense put out there.
Gotta respect. Next week, I'm gonna see. I don't think I can get to Pasadena though. That kind of sucks. There used to be a sushi place in Pasadena that had steak teriyaki sushi, and I would get that every once in a while when I need my tainted beef fix.
Oh, that's what else I did. I'm sorry. I'm looking at an ad here. Some ad popped up. I was like, that's what I did this week. I ate. Jen and I went out to dinner on Friday night because we were just like, we don't feel like cooking. And you can find her at NHL History Girl. It's great. So we went out to dinner, and I had a nice little meal. Whatever. The dessert was 2 giant brownies covered with cookie dough with ice cream on the side.
My God.
Right? Fantastic. I was not able to sit up properly at the house. I was just dead on the couch for about 2.5 hours. Fantastic. I loved every minute of it. Oh,
well, I mean, I can think of worse ways to die.
Right. Also, Katie turned 12. I have a 12-year-old kid. I have a preteen now. Like legit, like 1 year till teenagership.
Apparently, you did a good job with the present, though.
Yeah, no, she was pretty geeked up about the anime thing that I bought her. I have no idea what it is, but it brings her joy, so the hell with it.
So this weekend, this party that I went to, we bought a lot of PBR, and so my friend's wife started sending it home with people. So I have a 12-pack of PBR, but I don't get. So it says on the bottom that this is an artist. They got to design the can, so that was the design that they came up with for the can. I don't know. Maybe that's like a cuss word that I'm putting on the show right now. I have no idea. Maybe it just says blue ribbon.
Why don't you just doesn't Google have an app for that you can translate?
Well, signs? What language is it first?
I think it's Japanese, sir.
How can you tell?
Well, hold it up into the screen again. See that little
Chinese as well.
See that slash with a dot there? That means it's Japanese.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. But if you do Google Translate,
it's like a person smiling and winking at you because only one eye is open.
Right.
And then this side is the normal hipster version of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go hipster the rest of the year, or the rest of the show. It was established in Milwaukee in 1844.
Interesting. Hold on, Johnny. Let's take a look at Scotty's screen share here. Your boy did some Google Translate. Does this look like your card? Does that look like your thing there?
What do you think?
It's right here.
I think that might be close.
All right. So blue ribbon.
Yeah, you got the J. I think that's it.
Yeah.
It says blue ribbon.
All right, there we go. Told you it was Japanese. I'm not
All right, well,
racist.
fine. I'm sorry.
not
I don't
racist.
know I don't know my different Asian dialects.
I'm not racist. Joining us now, the leader of the Mark Bergevin fan club, Mr. Lyle Richardson, SpectresHockey.net. Lyle,
Mark
So-
Bergevin does look like he's been working out. I've seen pictures though.
well, he has to fend off all the people trying to murder him.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
So Lyle, when this happened Eastern time, it was what, 5 o'clock at your time when
No,
this
it was
trade
three-
went down.
It's 3 a.m.
Why? Why this sneaky?
Yeah. Well, I'll give him props for doing it sneaky this time and not like doing the Friday evening news dump like they did with the Galchenyuk trade. He gets props for that.
I like people after this trade. People are like, he can't even get the 5 o'clock news dump right. If you've been living under a rock, Max Pacioretty in the middle of the night, much like the Baltimore Colts, got a Mayflower moving van and moving his wares to Vegas, as he is the latest member of the Vegas Golden Knights. Then signing a 4-year extension hours later. In return, the Montreal Canadiens get Thomas Tatar and Nick Suzuki and a second-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Lyle, to me, overall, this deal doesn't make Bergevin look like a complete asshole if Suzuki pans out.
Absolutely. I mean, it could have been as my assessment of the trade at the time. I said, "Listen, it's not great, but it ain't bad." You get at least a serviceable player in Tatar. The guy isn't a 30-goal scorer like Max Pacioretty was, through most of his career, but he has lit the lamp 20 or more times in 4 seasons. So that helps a little. Getting an additional second-round pick, that obviously helps because second-round picks are, while they're not gold, they're close to gold. They're silver, definitely. But it's Suzuki, as you said. He's the key here. This is a highly touted prospect, center, no less. So, the Habs, after all the years of ignoring that problem, are like, hey, why don't we load up with promising young centers? So we saw that with Kotkaniemi at the draft, and now they get a kid who went the first round in last year's draft and is among the more highly touted prospects right now. And this is a kid who actually wants to try and crack the roster this year. So you gotta love his enthusiasm. I don't know if that's going to be enough to help him crack the roster yet, but he's got potential. He's built on that size now that you're seeing most top line centers becoming. He's not particularly tall. I mean, obviously, he's like, I think 5'11". I think he's what he's listed, 5'10", 5'11". I think $185 is what we're looking at here in terms of weight, but it's skill. That's what you're going for here. And this kid has speed. He's solid two-way sense. And terrific puck handling skills. And that's something that the Habs have been lacking at center for a very long time. So if this kid pans out and Kotkaniemi pans out, then all of a sudden what was a significant weakness for the Habs within the next 2 to 3 years could become a considerable strength.
Very interesting situation here. Of course, the Vegas Golden Knights essentially don't lose anything because this is a pick. This is a pick they picked up from Columbus.
Yeah.
And they basically traded everything they had in that Columbus deal. I think there's some kind of flow chart, and somehow David Clarkson comes out a winner. I don't understand it.
Yeah. At the end of the day, David Clarkson's still getting paid, but
as it should be. But
as it should be.
As we look at it, Lyle, Pacioretty, this seems that George McPhee is saying, you know what, we're not going to have this sophomore lull. We got Pacioretty, we got Stastny. We're keeping a lot of our core together. We're not going to let Lucas Spiza back in our locker room at all. And people pointed out too that Pacioretty and Stastny did have a little bit of chemistry when they played for the USA. I think it was World Cup. I think it was World Championships.
Yep.
I don't know.
I think so.
So putting them together seems impressive. Is like, are we scared as the Vegas Golden Knights becoming a West Coast Titan right now?
Well, I think for the short term, they're definitely trying to be that way. Obviously, I mean, McPhee, as you said, that they don't want to. They want to prove that they're no 1 year wonder. That they're for real. They're to be taken seriously. Bringing in Stastny to provide additional depth at center, bringing in Pacioretty, especially, that's a nice addition that replaces James Neal's departure. I mean, he doesn't play on the same side as Neal did, but he'll replace that offense. And he's going to be motivated to return to form. And now he doesn't have to be the team captain, so he can just go out and play. So he's out of that Montreal bubble. So all of a sudden, the second line of the Golden Knights last season was considered one of their weaknesses. In fact, McPhee, I believe it was McPhee who said that he considered his club's second line to be one of the worst in the league. Now it's among the best. Just having Stastny and Pacioretty as your second line guys who, if needed, can move up into the first line. I mean, man, that's the kind of depth you want. So yeah, they're very serious about, at least for the time being, staying in contention while their younger players develop, while guys like Theodore, can develop, so that way they can make a smooth transition. So you gotta like what McPhee's trying to do here. Still trying to win now, but buy time for the younger players that you want to bring into your roster. Guys who are there now, like Shea Theodore, but also guys like Glass and Brandstrom, I believe it is. Brandstrom, yeah. And allow them time to develop properly and not have to rush them too much. So you've got to like what they do, and they may not be done. That's the frightening thing here. McPhee may not be done. They still have a lot of cap space left. They still have a lot of assets they can draw upon if they need to, both on the roster and in their system. And Erik Karlsson's still out there on the block right now. And if they don't get Karlsson, you got to figure they're going to go look at somebody else, whoever else might pop up over the course between now and the trade deadline. So, he's not done.
If we're putting, as it is Vegas, if we're putting odds on it, we're putting a percentage on this, Lyle. Karlsson to Vegas is what? What's the percentage Karlsson to Vegas?
I don't like Vegas's odds as much as I like Tampa Bay's. I still think Tampa Bay's the front runner because he really wants to go to Tampa Bay. If I was to put odds on Tampa Bay, I'd say Tampa Bay would be, I'd say 70. I'd say it'd be a 70% chance of him going there. But Vegas, I would put about right now, I'd say I put him at a 55%. I think there's a better than average.
So you're saying probably 3-1 odds to Tampa, 7-1 to Vegas.
That works. Yep. And I would put
right.
you were, yes, and I would put the Dallas Stars at maybe 4.5 to 1.
Wow.
I would
so
slide them in there.
They're in between. They are better odds than Vegas, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. I really think that there's a better chance of him going to the Stars than to the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights were in there first, I know, and at the trade deadline, they came very close to getting him. But I think things have changed a bit since then because the Stars, they were the first to really get in there this summer when the Karlsson trade rumors hit, and they're still very much in there. Things have died down right now, and all the focus right now is on them re-signing Tyler Seguin. I think once the Seguin thing gets out of the way, that's when you're going to start hearing a lot more noise about them.
Okay. May I take a minute here, Lyle?
Oh, please.
Billy, yeah, take that money, put it on Dallas. Yeah, I don't know. It's the Patreon money. We can double it up. Don't worry. I don't give a crap what that blowhard Pagnota says. It's going to happen soon. Put it on Dallas. Just take the Patreon. They're not going to tear about the Patreon money. Get that Patreon money, and then we can buy that blow. I'm sorry, guys. How you doing? We're back. And we're back.
Yeah, it's a little commercial break there.
Are
you playing? Yeah.
Take Popovich to bank,
Don't
my
mouse
friend.
writing checks that your body can't cash.
Is Dave Pagnotta just throwing shit at a wall, hoping it sticks? I'm Gilbert Godfrey for trade rumors, etc. And I'll make sure you get the best trade rumors as Audacity has it.
And when they go down, we'll clap our hands and go, the aristocrats.
Hey, blind squirrel finds a nut all the time. Usually it's his jerking it off into his mouth. That was too far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yager
that
to
was-
Washington.
I gotta lay off the Gilbert Gottfried impressions tonight. I'm fighting off a bit of a bug. No, normally it's not a problem, but I'm fighting a bit of a cold. So
Who isn't these days? It's been like flu season doesn't even start for a couple weeks now, and people are getting all infected.
yeah.
The hell, people.
I mean, I'm sitting there today. All I was doing was cleaning a couple of carpets, using a carpet cleaner, clean a couple carpets. I needed a nap for about 2 hours afterwards. I'm just like, oh, I can understand if I do nothing. I mean, look, I know I got a body like a bag of milk, but I do at least exercise reasonably regularly.
Sure.
But that should not have beat the crap out of me. 40 minutes of carpet cleaning, and I need a 2 hour nap. Like, yeah. No. But anyway.
No. There are some days where I wake up, I'm just like, I just need a nap again.
There's definitely Saturday
Yeah,
after going to the wrestling event and then watching the U.S. national team. I came home from the deaths and I drove home at 8 o'clock in the morning and I fell asleep on the couch at 9 o'clock in the morning and woke up at noon.
Yeah, that's a sure sign you're getting old, kids. Let me tell you, you're doing the dad thing, needing the nap on the couch. Yep. By the way,
But I live by myself.
I know, but still, you're at the age where that would be considered doing a dad thing. You need a nap on the couch at the end of your day. By the way, it's too bad you couldn't wear the luchador mask. But given what you said, how warm it was there, yeah, it was probably a good idea to leave it at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, that face sweat action going on.
But I got some good pictures.
Yeah, I noticed you took a few interesting shots there. Yeah.
All right. By the way, we do have a haha fuck you. And
Yes.
boy.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Maybe I shouldn't get too
boy.
excited about this. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Yeah, boy.
It's the first game that the Velveteen Dream played in the NHL.
Yeah, nope, this is gonna be a good one.
Oh, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never experienced haha fuck you, our roster trivia game that we stole from Puck Soup that stole from us.
The circle of life, kids.
Exactly. You were in for a treat this week. You're gonna be
Boy,
in
howdy.
for a treat.
By the way, Scott.
Hi.
No, sorry, I've jumped all over you. You're giving them hints about the treat. Go ahead. I just want to talk a little bit more Pacioretty, and then I just want to move on.
Yeah, no, go ahead. That was it. That was all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. The only thing I'm going to say about the last thing about this Pacioretty trade is people in Montreal, fans and pundits, they're still going on and on about whether or not Pacioretty requested a trade. Because Pacioretty, leading up before he got traded, he kept saying over and over, I want to stay here, want to resign. And then leaks started coming, hitting mainly the French media, which, the assumption was they were coming from the
Shocking
team.
for the American captain.
Oh, yeah. That, no, he requested a trade last season. In fact, he did several times. Well, and it became this whole, well, who do we believe? Who do you want to believe? And then Pacioretty got traded. And they're still debating about this. It's like, people, who cares? The trade has happened. Pacioretty's gone. It doesn't matter now. Why are you wasting your time on this? And then I remember, oh, yeah, they're wasting time on this because it deflects away from the very real concern of who the hell's going to score for this team this year. You just got rid of your two most natural goal scorers. Yeah, it'll be Carey Price because, with those mad stick handling skills, hey. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns into their leading scorer. No, that's mean. I shouldn't say that. But boy, they're going to need.
You're probably not too far off.
Well, they got a lot of playmakers. That's a good thing. Jonathan Drouin and Max Domi.
Fantastic. You're going to have many guys passing up great opportunities to score.
Exactly. To pass the puck a lot. The only guy who'll cash in will be that means Brendan Gallagher is going to be a 50 goal scorer this year.
Oh baby, then he will cash money that it.
He's going to have to be.
He
might also be playing 25 minutes a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the roster for your Montreal Canadiens.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, is this something? It's almost
A whole lot
a,
of who cares. Yeah.
right. It's a who's who of who cares, Lyle. I would say. Drouin, Tartar Sauce, Andrew Shaw, Brendan Gallagher, Max Dome. Hey, Thomas Plekanec's back.
Yeah, put him on the fourth line.
You know
He
who
belongs
this
at the stage.
Paul Byron, face-off shorthanded specialist.
Yeah, and 20 goal scorer there. Yay! So him and Tatar. There you go.
Maybe this is the year Jacob De La Rose and Charles Houdan and Michael McKinnon.
Maybe
McCarron.
Houdan. I don't see it from. Definitely don't see it from Delarose. Maybe Pitcairn, but not from Delarose. Delarose is who he is now, and what he is ain't a goal scorer.
Joel Armia.
I thought he was a pest.
He was a pest.
Yeah, Joel Armia. That could go one way or the other. You know, it could. He's been mainly used in like he was mainly used in third and fourth line duty in Winnipeg, but that was a very deep Jets roster as well. So
hey Lyle.
Hey,
refresh my memory here as I look this up. Have the Canadians faithful started to eat at Carl Alsner yet, saying this is a bad deal?
Oh, they started that after game one last year. Yeah, when faster players were blowing by them, they were just like, "Oh shit, it's going to be a long season."
Yeah,
and that's too bad for Carl Alsner. Carl Alsner is a damn good defenseman, but unfortunately, the game has changed, and his style of game no longer suits the way the league is trending.
All-Star is almost akin to Brooks Orpik.
Yeah.
Except Brooks Orpik hit people.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah, but to be fair, Alsner still blocks a lot of shots. He's still a shot blocking machine.
Sure. Which
is still a big thing here. I would say that's his redeeming quality if you're on a penalty kill right now. But other than that.
Alsner was always in position. He's never fast, but he was always in a good position.
Yeah, and up until I would say 2-3 years ago, defensemen could still get away with being, good positional defensemen if you were slow of foot. Not anymore. Not anymore. And it's unfortunate because I always liked Alsner, and I do. He's, like I said, he's a good team guy, and does his job very well. But the game has changed around him very quickly, and now. Yeah.
Can we get back to the Senators for a second, Lyle?
Sure.
Did you see that awkward video?
Not only did I see that, I loved your description of what it should be. Did you tell the people already?
Oh, where you put two cutouts of Perry Pern and have it called Between Two Perns?
I literally laughed out loud when I read that. I was like, that's good.
That's definitely a hockey person joke, but I'm going to go for this.
That was good. Oh yeah. The hockey people would get it. Definitely.
Exactly. Well, if they're not,
then you're not a hockey person.
Well, if they're not stroking themselves off about the Carlson rumors, then they're freaking fine.
But that thing, I thought it was a parody. Like,
right?
I really, honest to God, I'm like, I'm Mark Borowiecki.
I'm out there doing the hosting.
Borowiecki, and I'm going to interview the owner.
I'm going to have to watch this now, aren't I?
Oh, yeah, you are.
Oh, you have to.
Damn it. I was trying to get out of it.
For sheer The Office, Michael Scott awkwardness, you have to watch this. It's just, I thought it was just a fun thing they were doing at first, that it was just kind of a parody. Maybe, I thought, okay, this is a brainchild of maybe somebody in their PR department to kind of soften the rough edges of their cantankerous owner. And instead you're like, no, the realization hits you, no, this is a real thing. And oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh, if you're a Senators fan,
I'm gonna have the dinosaur porn video on standby after that. Then,
to kind of cleanse your eyeballs of what you've just seen and your ears too. But if you're a Senators fan, I mean, look, we all know Eugene Melnyk has a long history of being an outspoken owner, speaks his mind. We know this, but given the things that have flown out of his mouth in the last 18 months, you really got to wonder about the steadiness of the hand on the tiller right now, because this is a ship that's starting to look kind of directionless and rudderless right now. Because that was just bizarre. That was completely out to lunch weird.
Yeah, it kind of was. I don't know. I don't know who was it for.
Oh, it was supposed to be for the fans. It was supposed to,
no.
It was for himself.
yeah, no, but that's what they said it was for. This is all part of the new campaign, Senators Rising. And
That's
the only
a terrible idea.
I know. It was supposed to be some kind of a promotional thing to kind
The
of.
last time this occurred, Julius Caesar died.
That's true.
And
You know what, Johnny? Too soon. Too
Too
soon.
soon?
Too soon.
Shit. Had I seen a tweet about the Senators rising, I would have made that joke. And I had never saw a tweet. I'm gonna have to wait until a tweet comes out with that, and then I can make the joke.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It won't be as funny because I already used it here, and I won't remember it when I actually need it in a good time.
And that's the hook, is it? You're not gonna be able to. You'll be like, I had something for this.
Yeah,
I
had-
know that
it's
there's
going now.
something I had and I wanted to say about Senators Rising. What was it? God,
I mean,
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is Olympus has fallen. Weird.
I will say this doesn't rise to the embarrassment of the whole, sort of this is Sparta recreation, via a faux, Roman senator that the Sens did like 10 years ago for their season opener or their playoff openers, which was just, yeah, that still is the pinnacle of most embarrassing moment in Senators history. Right after they drafted a guy who was ineligible to be drafted, but it definitely, it's in the top 10 for sure.
At this point, though, haven't the Golden Knights taken that to a new level?
Yeah, but the Golden Knights did it intentionally. The Golden Knights embraced the cheese. They embraced the cheese effect and went with it because it's Vegas, baby. This was supposed to be a serious thing. This is supposed to be a serious thing on the Senators' part. Just like this interview by Melnick was supposed to be a serious thing. Being interviewed by one of his own players, for God's sake. Was supposed to be this serious thing to get us started on the season and prepare the fans for the youth movement that's coming and we're going to be better. And instead, all everybody's talking about was every reaction I saw to this thing on Twitter started with the same three letters, WTF.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. Nobody knew what they were watching.
Especially with who they had as the host of this.
Yeah.
Why of all the people?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Don't give up your day job, bud. Stick to being a defenseman. You're good at that.
Well,
for an NHL defense, he's better than I am.
Yeah, no. Well, that's like.
When was the last NHL game you played?
That's what I'm saying. He's better at it than me.
That's true, Lyle. But you're still an even player. You're an even NHL player.
That's true.
Can't say the same otherwise.
They're true.
Another trade happened this week. Adam McQuaid going to the New York Rangers. Stephen Kampfer to Boston.
Well, that's McQuaid. Sadly, after almost 10 seasons with Boston, McQuaid had fallen down the depth chart there with the Bruins. This
is the last roll of the dice.
What's that?
For McQuaid. This is the last roll of the dice for McQuaid.
It could, Johnny, it could well be. He's in the final year of his current contract right now. He's 32. He's injured a lot because of the physical style of game he plays. But he was also a healthy scratch quite a bit last season because the younger defensemen were basically, taking over those top four spots on the defense score. He's going to the Rangers, a rebuilding club that could use some experience and leadership and that sort of thing, which is great. But does he have a future with the Rangers in the direction they're going? I don't think so. That move frees up some cap space for the Bruins, gives them some flexibility, I think, for later on in the season if they feel they need to make another playoff rental. Doesn't leave a heck of a whole lot of cap space for the Rangers if they're looking at making a big trade. Say later on the season, if they're looking at making an acquisition, i.e. if they're going to be the third team in on a potential Erik Karlsson deal with Tampa Bay where they take Ryan Callahan back from the Lightning and his $5.8 million cap hit, so that frees up cap space for the Lightning to take on Karlsson in that kind of scenario. Yeah. But McQuaid was one of the few remaining links too on the Bruins to their 2011 championship team. There's not very many of them left now. Yeah. And Marchand and Bergeron and Rask and Chara, and I believe that there's one more in there. Krejci. Yeah.
Krejci, yeah.
Yeah, but there ain't very many left now on that roster.
Hell no.
But they're heading in a different direction in a new, they don't need as many of those guys anymore because they got a whole new crop of promising youngsters coming up that could maybe help them bring a Stanley Cup back to Boston in the next few years.
What are we looking for preseason, Lyle? The preseason hockey starts this Saturday. 2:30 a.m. Eastern Time. From the land of the rising toy manufacturers, China.
Land of the 10,000
maniacs.
iPad factories.
10,000 maniacs.
That's even better. Land of 10,000 maniacs.
What are we looking for here, Lyle? There's some people signing PTO, some people doing this, doing that, the other thing. Of course, Alex Chason, Stanley Cup champion, signed a PTO with your Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, I mean, is there any storylines coming into this?
Well, I mean, obviously.
Whoa, hold on a minute.
Oh.
Did you see the suspension that came down?
Yeah, 27 games for Austin Watson.
Let's hold off for a second here and get this.
Is it more doping?
No, Austin Watson suspended 27 games after domestic assault arrest this summer.
Oh,
yeah.
So
yeah, he was spotted at a gas station slapping his girlfriend. Apparently, was the report. So he pleaded. That was in June, and he pleaded no contest in July. And was given his punishment, and now the league is cracking down heavy on him with a 27-game suspension. That's definitely trying to set a tone here. You don't want it. Well, I mean, we all do. The whole Slava Voinov scenario is still fresh in everybody's mind, along with the Semyon Varlamov incident, as well, which happened, I believe, the season before Voinov's. So I think the league is trying to set a very, very clear message to its players that this is not going to be tolerated, and to their fans as well, that, you know what, hey, listen, we're serious about this. We're not just going to say, well, the courts have dealt with it and it shouldn't affect it. He can come back and play now. It's like, no, they're letting people know that this is there's going to be a consequence. Apparently the PA, though, is going to file, they're going to file a grievance on his behalf. So this will go before a hearing, and maybe that will be reduced, but
no,
we'll see.
I doubt it. This is something they almost have to do.
Yep.
As a players' union.
Yeah, but I also wonder as well. They can do that with Austin Watson because he's a depth player. If that had been, say, PK Subban or Philip Forsberg or Pekka Rinne, would the suspension have been quite so harsh? In other words, if Austin Watson had been a superstar player, would that suspension have been so harsh? That's what I want to know.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too. I really do, because lose for 27 games is not going to adversely affect the Nashville Predators this season.
No.
If you lost a guy like Forsberg or Subban or Rinne, that's going to hurt for 27 games for suspension. That's going to hurt you.
But this is also a non-hockey related incident.
True.
Like this is had this been a hockey related incident, like maybe he hit somebody in preseason, then it's probably like a 10-game something, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh, we've seen this before. But non-hockey related incidents that cause the NHL to be in the light this way, I feel like they have to take care of it.
Yeah.
They have to do this, and they have to do it early. Like, I mean, as much as we've joked around about this, the tainted beef defense now for Nate Schmidt, the 20-game suspension for having a trace amount of clenbuterol in your system, if that's what it really came down to, is insane to me.
Yeah.
But you have to do it. Like you don't have a way around that.
Well, if it was a cross contamination or something like that, I mean, I'm willing to give the guy the benefit of a doubt when you've got people on his behalf coming forward and saying, look, the amount that was in his system was so small, there was no chance of him getting any benefit out of it. It was the same thing when they suspended Jose Theodore because he was using that, was it Rogaine?
Yeah.
Propecia.
Yeah, Propecia. Because it was a banned it was a banned substance, but he was just using it for hair growth. He wasn't doing it to try to improve
Propecia is a banned substance because it masks doping. That's why it's banned.
Yeah, I get that, but still, I still disagreed with that at that time. I thought that suspension was an overreaction and it was absurd.
To the domestic abuse thing, you look at what happened with Varlamov.
Yeah,
Varlamov was that was like it got dropped because they couldn't prove beyond a reasonable doubt. But still, the accusations there, and if I remember correctly, there was nothing done about that.
No, there wasn't. He didn't. As I recall, I do not believe he was suspended. No. I don't think there was any suspension out of that. Let me just check.
But okay, so Varlamov didn't get convicted of anything, right? Mm-hmm. So had he gotten suspended by the NHL, like I can't even imagine the shit show that would have occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Varlamov was also arrested in domestic assault charge and was not suspended by the league or the Avalanche. So there you go. Yeah,
and of course,
but he wasn't convicted, right? He was invested.
No,
he was arrested, but he was never. Yeah, he was not. Yeah, there was no conviction. He was. Yeah, exactly.
And then the Voinov thing, where he has been indefinitely suspended
and deported,
and he might never get back into the league. I mean, right now,
or should he?
No, I know. And like I said, now he had his sentence or conviction was quashed, so he can be allowed back into the league if the league decides, but right now the league is reviewing it. He still has to have a hearing, I guess, before the league, if it even gets that far, because the league could turn around and go, no,
Yeah, I honestly think you just put the kibosh on it now. You don't need that kind of fight.
Well, and here's the thing. If they allow him back, if they say, yeah, it's okay, what team in their right mind is going to want that bad publicity?
Somebody
really
will
somebody will do it.
That's why I said in their right mind, because I think, we heard that some teams over the summer, like, oh, well, some teams were at least exploring it or looking at it. But it's one thing to say, well, we're looking at it, or we're considering, or exploring it. It's another to come up against the harsh and fast reality of you do this, and the negative publicity that is going to come down on your shoulders is just going to make life miserable. It's going to be an unnecessary distraction for your players because they're going to have to face those questions over and over. You're going to get that thrown in your face every time you go into another arena. For God's sake, when Denny Potvin 40 years ago there was rumors that he had was involved in a domestic assault or a domestic thing, and for years Rangers fans used to chant at him, beat your wife. So can you imagine that kind of nonsense that a team would have to deal with? So
I can only think of one team, and they can't get much lower right now, and that's the Ottawa Senators. Like, why do they care at this point?
You know what? It's probably not wrong.
No.
If they lose someone like Carlson and they allow Voinov back in the league, you don't think Eugene Melnyk doesn't give two shits about it anymore? Sadly, that's probably,
like, is that? I mean, that's dead on.
That's too dead on to be funny.
No, that's why I just smirked, because I'm like, I can't sit down and argue with you. No,
there's not a defense.
I could actually see that scenario unfolding.
Defense on this one.
I could actually see that scenario unfolding.
Yep. So, well, the Senators Voinov jerseys are going to be up for sale soon.
The only way I can see anything where there could be an avoidance of any serious issue with this if the league allows him back in is if he publicly came forward and gave a press conference and said, look, I did this. I am deeply ashamed of what I did. I have learned, listen, we all talk about giving somebody the benefit of a doubt that they, that they serve their sentence or what have you, and that they deserve a second chance and so on. And yeah, there are people out there that I know believe Voinov deserves a second chance. But the only way you're going to get away with really giving him a second chance is he has to come forward and show serious, truthful contrition for what he did. And that would involve, like, yes, I'm now involved in charities that protect or look after victims of domestic abuse, that sort of thing. That's the only way that I could see you could maybe blunt the negative publicity that would come from that. If he actually gave heartfelt regret for what he did, but we haven't heard a thing from him on any of this.
Even that would not be enough for some people too, know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, by the way, did I know we talked about Jose Teodoro? I was looking at some other things. You guys mentioned his suspension, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. None games.
Oh, he wasn't suspended. I thought he was suspended.
He was suspended for 2 years from international play.
International play. Okay.
The NHL said he had applied and received approval for therapeutic use.
So it was for international games.
I also think, if I remember correctly, this was before the NHL went with the WADA rules.
Yes.
With the WADA list.
Yeah.
It was.
Because the NHL basically had a list of 4 things that were like, all right, if you get caught with any of these things, we're going to suspend you.
All right, it's LSD, it's methamphetamines, it's NyQuil mixed with LSD.
And airplane glue.
And pot.
No, airplane glue.
Oh. Pot's still in the
Yeah,
list.
we can't have you guys high out there skating around.
But shoot up if you got it, boys.
Oh, yeah. Give her. Woo. No.
Anyway.
Everyone loves the sport if it's faster and you hit harder. Let's go.
All right, so Austin wants to think. Lyle, is there any real big preseason stuff that we need to look forward to? Anything there? Or should we get to...
Well, very quickly. I mean, obviously, the whole Erik Karlsson situation, that's, that could carry over. I mean, the rumors of that, now we're hearing, he could go any day now. You've got to wonder with Steve Yzerman stepping down as the general manager of the Lightning. I mean, what tack Julian Brisebois, his successor, is going to take? Is he, going to be have that same penchant for blockbuster deals that Yzerman had? Meaning, is he going to keep going after Karlsson, or is he going to go in a different direction? You've got to wonder about restricted free agents like William Nylander and Sam Reinhart. They're still unsigned, and if their stalemates could drag on into training camp, and that could raise some questions about the future. I'm curious of how the Hurricanes are going to do with Rod Brind'Amour now as their head coach. Because if he molds them in the same style the way he played, well, it'll be an interesting team. But he's got some stuff there that he's got to deal with. Like, can he make Scott Darling a better goaltender? Artemi Panarin, his situation, of course. I mean, the rumor mill isn't quite isn't churning as much as Karlsson's, but it's still out there. He said once training camp starts, he doesn't want to talk contracts, so maybe he could end up hitting the trade block. And we talked about who are the Canadians going to find for scorers. That's pretty much most of it. Well, we got how are the Red Wings going to replace Zetterberg, whose career seems pretty much is done because of his bad back? So, yeah.
All right. Well, I have 2 things in mind.
Oh, God.
Well, we have 20 minutes.
Okay.
Inside number 1.
Actually, we only have 10 minutes if we don't want to go over 2 hours.
It's true.
Just keeping the producing on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's why he's the best in the biz.
So we have mid-90s and late 90s.
Well, now...
And mid to late, and then late.
I think we agreed last week we were going to try to stay away from late 90s for Johnny because he doesn't remember very much of that period because he was in college then.
So what would
Yeah,
Vin-
but let's be completely honest. If we're not going to know any of it anyway, who cares?
Okay,
Lyle might know some of it.
All right.
we'll see.
Johnny, I will allow you 96 or 99.
Oh.
It's kind of in that wheel. Both of them are kind of in that
let's go
wheelhouse.
96.
96. All right. So Max
Year for
Pacioretty.
St. Joe's Red.
Yeah, Max Pacioretty was traded. He is one of, at least that I know from off the top of my head, the last 3 captains to be traded. Vincent Donfus, who was traded in 99, and this man, Pierre Turgeon, the captain of the Montreal Canadiens. His last game with the Canadiens, October 28th, 1996.
Oh, no. Lyle's going to know the whole team.
Against the Phoenix Coyotes. Johnny, if he knows all this team, I'm going to give him a plaque. I'm looking at this
You're
roster.
going to give him plaque?
Yep,
Oh,
I
a
already
plaque.
had-
Sorry.
No, a plaque saying you remembered ancient Montreal Canadiens.
if he knows if he knows 10 of the Montreal Canadiens, I will give him $10 off the Scotty Waz store that doesn't exist.
Can I get a? Oh no, you'll give me $10 off of that tabletop curling thing we're looking into
That's true. I will have to.
for the
TJ
dimension.
Maxx still not on TJ Maxx's website, so
Oh
I
yeah,
will keep an eye out.
What a
like I
jerk.
said, I don't need it
TJ
till Christmas.
Maxx.
I don't
He's
need it
a-
till December.
He's
So
a jerk.
All right, so it's going to be 18 skaters and a goalie for Phoenix, 17 skaters and a goalie for Montreal. We're getting rid of Pierre Turgeon, who had 4 assists in this game.
no, of course.
Damn it. That's what I was going to choose.
I know.
That's
It's very weird.
Best night. That's ever as a had. That's when they trade him.
Sell high, Lyle. Sell high.
Sell high, baby.
All right, we will start with Johnny P. Coyotes, Canadians, 96. Don't you dare miss it.
Remember, you
Patrick Waugh.
Fuck you. Nope. No Patrick Wall in this game. I think he was with the Avalanche at that point.
He was with the Avs by that point.
Yep.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if he got traded in 95 or 96.
Yeah, it was 95. Yeah.
Lyle.
All right. Patrice Brisebois.
On the board. There he is.
Bing,
Just
bing,
that
bing.
simple.
Okay, so that's one. I got to get 9 more.
You got 9 more.
I got
Lyle.
9 more.
I'm going to keep a tally. Keep you honest.
Am I allowed to take a Canadian then? Or do
You are
I
Sure.
allowed,
take
you
it
are
off
allowed
the
to
board?
screw this up. For
Go
this.
ahead.
Yep.
Do it, man. Do it. Seriously.
I'm going to go with Eric Desjardins.
Haha, fuck you. No, he was not.
Damn it! I
He was
hate
with
this
the
time of
Flyers.
year.
He was with the
Good.
Flyers.
He was with the Flyers. Okay.
These 4 years are fucking
Okay.
stupid.
So I got one. Turner Stevenson.
Haha, fuck you. He did not play in this game.
Shit. He was always hurt. The bum.
What a bum.
A bum, man. Son of a.
All right, Johnny. Coyotes, Canadians, 96.
Shane Doan.
Ooh.
Board.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Of course he was. He's been there since
He was there forever.
he's there forever.
Forever and a day. man.
Got an assist in that game. Lyle.
Okay. Hang on. Jocelyn Thibault.
Haha, fuck you.
God damn it!
Did not play this game, which I was
Son of a-
surprised at. That $10 to the Scotty Waz store, not really going.
No, we ain't over yet, bud. We ain't over yet. Son of a bitch!
Yeah.
I thought that would have been a layup, man.
No, this goalie is not a layup.
Whoa.
Neither of these goalies are layups, boys. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, yeah. I was gonna say a guy, but yeah, no, he wasn't with them yet. So,
Johnny
anyway.
P.
Damn it.
What about Zach Burke?
Haha, fuck you, but I like the thinking. I like that thought.
Damn it!
He likes where
Damn
you're
it.
going with it. He likes where you're going with it.
My fondness for third goalies are always, up there.
I tried.
Oh,
I tried for
and
it.
how many of them are related to the heavy metal singers too?
Yeah, no,
So-
Sebastian Bach. But I think this is your second week you've went with Zach Burke, Johnny.
No, I went with him the first. I went
Oh,
with
you
him
did?
last
Okay.
week.
Someone went
No,
for
no,
Zach
I
Burke
didn't.
last week.
I went with him last week.
All right.
Okay. Hang on, no, I ain't done.
Well, you know, we just started.
Oh, I know. Shane Corson.
Haha, fuck you. No.
God damn it.
I remember him being a Maple Leaf.
He
Fuck.
wasn't any flavor.
Okay. I'm
All
taking
right.
too many deep dives. All right. Okay. All right.
250
I
so
know.
far.
I'm muckling
He can get
down
those
now.
Hall of Fame numbers up, though. He can get those
Okay.
Hall of Fame numbers up,
Okay.
but first, Johnny P's got to go.
Okay. No. Go ahead, Johnny.
Um. Nope. Uh-huh.
Mhm.
What about Zach Juen Delorier? Sorry, I don't even
Wow.
know if that's his real name.
Wow.
I just threw three names together. I knew that there was a Delorier at the end.
A Delorier.
Yeah, sorry. Jeff Duran Delorier was long. I think he was maybe
Close
a
enough.
peewee. Maybe a peewee.
Well,
Nice
I mean,
try.
I'm just saying.
Nice try.
I'm going with obscure goalies at
That's
this point.
fair.
Leland
That's fair.
Irving is next. So.
Lined up in the slot.
Your goalie Monday. Hey, on a
All right.
Wednesday.
Here we
Yeah.
go.
Obscure
All right.
goalie. Obscure goalie Wednesday.
Wednesday. Yeah. Rather than obscure goalie Monday.
All right.
Obscure goalie. Okay. Brian Savage.
Fuck you. Nope. No Brian
God
Savage.
damn it.
Oh,
I know those guys are on the team.
AJ has somebody.
hold on. Lyle's walking in like a gorilla marching Vince
Oh.
McMahon, and he's
Oh.
1 for 5.
Those guys are on the team. Oh no, I'm not done yet, boys. I'm not done yet. Hunker
Oh,
down.
this
I ain't done
This
yet.
is like the 2000 WWF. I don't even remember what event I went to.
What does AJ have there, John?
AJ says Tipo Numanen.
Ooh, that's
Tempo
a good one.
Newman all up
On the
on
board.
that.
Nice.
Good one. Johnny, to you.
Oh, this is dumb. At some point, maybe somebody will pop in my head. I can't believe Jocelyn Tebow wasn't on the list.
No, I know, right?
Kind of bizarre.
God.
And God knows who the Coyotes goalie was at that point. Sean Burke?
Sorry. No Sean Burke. No Sean Burke.
Okay.
All right, Lyle, let's see what you got for me this time.
Saku
This is-
Koivu, God
There it
damn it.
is. There we go.
Yes.
Finally.
Finally. All right. Now I'm going to get back on the winning track
Here
here.
we go. He's need 8 more. Johnny.
I'm gonna still try and fight and get Coyotes. 'cause I
Brian
only
Savage
got one.
So we're on the.
Who else can I add to this? I know that there's some people I remember that wore these jerseys, the Roadkill jerseys.
No, this is the Peyote Coyote jerseys.
Coyote.
All right. I don't think he was on the team, but I just want to say him because he was a Jet, and I'm gonna go with Bob Asenza.
Oh, he was not on this team, but that's a great guess.
Yeah, that is a great guess. Seriously, I would have gone for that one.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Jesus.
This
Yeah.
was the first year they went from Winnipeg to Phoenix.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There we go.
Okay. I'm
All
gonna
right, here we
go
go,
with
Lyle.
the. I'm
He's
gonna
ready.
go with the guy you mentioned earlier,
Oh, here it is.
Vincent Domfus.
I mentioned him.
There you go. Vincent Domfus on the board. Perfect.
That's three.
Oh.
That's
7
three.
more.
7 more to go.
7 more.
7 more. I'm not done.
I know you're not, Lyle.
I'm
Still-
I'm
we're
pissed
still
off.
in
I
the-
can't
we're still in
believe
the air.
those. I
still
still
in the
can't
air.
believe Tebow and Savage didn't
No.
play that
No,
game.
no,
Damn.
they didn't.
Fuck.
I have
Or-
no
or
idea
Tur- or
who's on
Turner
the
Stevenson.
Canadians.
Or Turner Stevenson. Yeah.
I have zero. I don't even know who was on the Caps in 1996.
Yeah, I don't even know either. That's good. Dale
Right?
Hunter, probably. Dale Hunter and Peter Bondra and Kolzig, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the three people. And Callie Johansson, probably, maybe.
Yeah, most likely.
No. Brian Sotheby.
Wow,
If you say
no.
on the board, I'm gonna.
Wow,
lose
I'm
my
not even.
shit.
I'm not even check for that. I love a Brian Sotheby name drop though.
Yeah.
He played for the Canadians at some point, though, right? Or no?
No, he played for the Ducks and Caps. I think that was it.
Yeah, he definitely played
Oh,
for the
well.
Caps. I remember
Oh
that.
yeah, no, he was like
Okay.
the great white next white hype.
Okay, I can't believe I didn't think of him earlier. Mark
Definitely snuff
Recchi.
butter. Oh, Mark Recchi, there he is. Now he's heating
There
up.
he
ladies and
is.
gentlemen.
Mark
Here we
Recchi.
go.
Now he's
Here
heating
we
up.
go.
Six
Okay,
more.
you can crank up the Vince McMahon music now. Okay, okay.
Brian Sotheby
AJ
played
has
for
another one.
Brian Sotheby
Okay.
played for the Caps, the Stars, and the Ducks.
I thought he played for the Canadians.
AJ's got another one.
What does AJ got?
He does.
Okay.
AJ is going to bring out Jeremy Roenick.
Not so much me as it is Ronick. He's good on the board.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, because
Ah.
that Coyotes team was pretty good back then.
They were
You know, it wasn't they weren't bad,
weren't the best, but they weren't terrible.
but no, yeah.
Johnny,
God. Sheldon Surrey.
Oh
no sir, no Sheldon Surrey.
no,
Damn it.
he still would have been
Exactly.
Devils' property back then.
Yeah,
I don't
he
even think he was even in the league at that point, but he was definitely Devils' property back then.
I just like
Um,
saying people I know played for the team at some point.
Oh, just-
or even Brian Sotheby.
Brian Sotheby's the best.
Okay, hang on. Valerie Bure.
Fuck you. Nope.
God damn it! He was on that
Oh.
team. He was on that team.
Well.
Shit. Okay, no. I still got 6 more to
Since
get.
you did say he was the best, I'm going to go with Brian Bellows.
You're the best, fellas. You're the best.
Sorry, but great pool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's a great pull.
I'm just going to name random shit from now on because I have no idea.
Do it,
And
man.
I'm just
You
filling.
could
love it.
I'm
probably-
just filling.
yeah, you could get one for sure.
Well, I got Shane Doan. I win for this week.
Yeah.
That's true. Got a big winner. He got the Shane Doan Super Prize.
Because I'm sticking to all Habs here.
All Habs.
Darcy
hashtag.
Tucker.
Oh, there it is. Halfway
Yes.
home.
God damn it.
Halfway home for that
Valerie
discount. on
Bure was on the okay. Was Valerie Bure on the roster that year?
Valerie Bure
Tell
was.
me he was.
He was on the roster. Yes, I think
Okay.
he was injured that first part of the season though.
Okay.
He
Okay.
played 64 games that year.
AJ has 2 more Coyotes. What a
No.
jerk.
Good. You good. Yeah. Stay with the Coyotes.
Good,
I don't give
good,
a
you
shit
good.
about them. I want the Habs. You AJ pick all the Coyotes you want. I want the
you
Habs.
good.
Also,
I'm on.
also, AJ got a new job. So we have to
Hey,
congratulate
congrats.
AJ on his new
What's
job.
the new job?
Mazel. Does he say?
I don't know. He didn't tell us.
Oh,
All right,
oh,
cool.
well, hopefully.
All right,
he
so
will.
I'm
First off-
assuming that maybe he became Jesus of all of Florida now.
He's just
Ginger
yelling at the
Jesus?
Hurricanes.
Ginger Jesus.
Like he was already like I nicknamed him Florida Jesus, but maybe now he got that title. Maybe at some point AJ and Archbishop Pope Brian Metzger
Metzger.
will have to meet each other.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Metzger already has a direct line though, because like the Pope always talks to the Jesus. They have a direct line, right? So
Anyway, what picks does he have for the
he
Coyotes?
didn't tell me. He just says he has
Oh,
2
he
more in
just-
mind.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, it's
Okay.
a tease. It's what
Okay.
it's what the kids in the business call a tease.
Ah.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna still try and fight for random goalies.
Go for it. Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
This is way early for that, so and it wasn't. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know if I don't think he played for the Coyotes.
Mm.
I'm still trying to think of Jets players as well that
Hey,
were around that
well,
time period.
That wouldn't hurt. 'Cause I think that was what the year after they moved. It became Phoenix.
Year of. This is their first.
That was
this,
their first. That's what I'm
This
saying.
is the
was their first
inaugural season. Yeah.
Okay, this was their first season. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're thinking of former Jets, Jesus, yeah, there could still be some there.
Wait, no, I'm sorry.
Ah.
Second season, 95, 96 for their first season. I apologize.
Okay.
He has two good picks. Neither of them I would have gotten, but now
Okay.
I remember both of them now that he's written them down. Also, he's not Jesus of all of Florida now. He's paralegal and he switched law firms.
Oh,
Congrats. Awesome.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Here's the partnership.
Oh.
I don't know what that means. You're saying law things. Who are his picks?
There's a bug in my house. I normally make deals with the bugs because I know that the basement's going to be 30 degrees in 6 weeks anyway. So I'm like, hey, you can stay down here because you're going to die.
Yeah.
God, I don't know.
What are AJ's picks then?
AJ is going to go with Dallas Drake.
Board.
Debbie does Dallas Drake.
Yep.
Wow.
And everybody loves a good wing. Keith Kachuk.
Board.
Oh, wow. He's crushing it.
Yeah, he's crushing the Coyotes.
My turn.
Yeah, I think you can pass me for right now. You can go ahead.
All right.
All right. Stefan Quintal.
There you go. He's over the hump.
Okay, I got four more. Unless AJ's got some more that he thrown out.
Stefan Quintal is like is effectively the same person as Eric Desjardins. How is Desjardins not on this team?
Because they had Stefan Quintal.
Exactly.
Younger Desjardins.
And this was 2 years after Desjardins get traded. That's why Mark Recchi's on the team on the Canadians because Desjardins was part of that deal. Okay.
All right, keep going, Lyle. I'm gonna keep thinking of random goalkeepers.
Popovich.
Take Popovich to bank, my friend.
That's a great pull. I love that one. I'll give you the 10% discount on that. Beautiful.
Thank
Peter
you.
Popovich.
Peter Popovich. Okay, how many I got left?
You got 3 more.
3 more. Was Theodore the goaltender?
No.
Okay. Jeff Hackett?
No. Lyle, if you get this goal,
hang on, wait. Jablonski?
There it is.
Yes!
Jablonski.
Oh,
Johnny, would you have ever gotten that one in a million years?
Oh man.
No, I thought he played for the Hartford Whalers.
No. The Habs brought him over
From Tampa,
I think. Yeah, from Tampa Bay. That's right.
2 more.
Igor Ulanov?
Oh,
it,
you're
I
not
was
going to
thinking
get
of
that
that
2 weeks in a
one,
row,
Adrian.
Lyle.
Shit.
Lyle, you're not going to get that 2 weeks in a row.
Shit. Because I know he got traded over. I thought no. Jablonski must have been a different deal. I thought he came over with that one.
Johnny, did you say AJ chimed in or?
Yeah, AJ has one.
Okay.
But I'd like to say something that just popped into my head real quick, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
But I don't think this was one of the 3 teams. I think it was the Boston, the Kings, and the Capitals. But I'm going to go with Dmitry Kristich.
Why not? Why
No.
not?
But great drop.
Nikolai Habibulin.
No, sir.
Oh,
Oh,
Not play
I
this
would have
game.
gone for him for the goalie too.
Did not play this game.
Shit. But was he on the team?
I'm sure he was.
Oh, okay.
Didn't play.
Okay. Hang on now.
Who left, Lyle?
Craig Rive?
No, sir.
Shit. No, hang on. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. Okay. I don't. I think he came over in the Turgeon, the return for Turgeon. I'm thinking Murray Barron.
No, sir.
Okay, yeah, because I think he came over from St. Louis. Hang on.
Next week on the show, Adam Scorgi will be on talking about making cocoa.
Yeah,
The documentary, not the actual act of
the
making
actual
cocoa.
but yeah, that really cool documentary.
Darren Pang.
No, Darren Pay.
He's a goalie and he's random.
Sean Thornton. No, not Sean Thornton. Scott Thornton.
There. All right, one more to go, Lyle.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Oh,
One more to
no.
go.
Oh,
Hang on.
geez, this is gonna be the
I'm not giving up. here.
worst letdown in the world.
I got one more left.
It's like my sex life. You reach a peak and then it's
See, now I fucked it all up because Lyle can't think of anything anymore.
Oh my god, no, hang on.
Damn it, I'm sorry, Lyle. I didn't mean it.
No, it's okay. I needed to laugh. I was getting too serious here. All right, okay. So the Watt trade happened the year before, right? Right.
You already picked a goalie.
Yeah, no, I'm not picking Watt. I'm trying to think of who came over with him in the trade, or for the trade for him, because I said Tebow. Kovalenko?
Oh, you're talking Andrei Kovalenko.
Oh, Andrei Kovalenko?
Wow. Wow, you know what? I didn't have faith in you, and I still don't because you're still at 9.
Okay.
No Kovalenko.
Whoa. Martin Rucinski.
There it is. You did it. You've
Yeah!
finally done it. You've done it.
Yes! Thank
What
God, 'cause
about-
I couldn't remember anybody else.
What about Alexei Zhitnik?
No Alexei, sadly. No Alexei Zhitnik. Ladies and gentlemen, you can keep that Kyle Ripken-like streak alive. Alexei Zhitnik has been mentioned.
I still can't believe that. Like I said, I mean, there are 5 guys that I rattled off there that I know was on the roster that year for the Habs and didn't play in that
That
game.
was a great job by AJ. So AJ told me that he has a Hab in mind, but he wanted to hold off until Lyle was done.
Who?
And then
I would have
you
found out
just
who it was.
named him.
Rucinski. Okay.
Nice. All right, so I guess we're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
I just
not
wanted to get the
I'm-
Habs. I don't give a shit about the Coyotes. I wanted to get those Habs.
Bob Corkum for the Coyotes. Bob Corkum.
Kovalenko was who it was.
Yeah. Doan was mentioned. Dallas Drake was mentioned. Mike Eastwood, Jeff Finley, Hall of Famer Mike Gartner, Craig Janney, Jim Johnson, Chad Kilger, Chris
They were both
King.
Capitals.
Yeah. Chris King, Dave Manson, Brad McCrimmon, Jim McKenzie, Newman and Roenick were mentioned. Darren Shannon, Keith Kachuk was mentioned. Oleg Tverdovsky was not mentioned, however. In net for the Phoenix Coyotes, which if you guys would have gotten it, I would have ended the game right there. Number 43 on your stat sheet, number 1 in your heart, Darcy Walkalot.
Darcy Walkalot.
I remember him. What a jerk.
For Les Habitants, Donald Brashear, Breezewell was mentioned. Benoit Brunet. Mark Burrow. Dan Foose was mentioned. Francois Grelou. Koivu was mentioned. Vladimir Malakoff. Yeah. Popovich, Quintel, Recchi, Stefan Richer. Brzezinski, former first-round pick Terry Ryan. Thornton Tucker, Turgeon, we didn't mention. And finally, David Wilkie with Pat Jablonski in net.
So there was no Terry Yake?
No Terry Yake, sadly.
Man.
No Terry Yake.
I had no idea that Mike Gartner played for the Coyotes. Not even going to say that.
I think that was kind of toward the tail end of the career there, wasn't it? Yeah.
He played his last 2 seasons in Phoenix. Yeah. That year in particular,
Mike Gartner. Go ahead, Scotty.
I said that year in particular, he had 32 goals as a 37-year-old.
Wow. My best Mike Gartner story was that Mark invited me to go to a random game on New Year's Eve, and I had shaved into a mustache because I decided I wasn't doing anything. So I went to this random Capitals game when right after Mark had knee surgery. It was around New Year's Eve. It might have been like January 2nd or something. Full mustache, everything. Completely forgot I still had a mustache. Show up. Obviously, the night that they're raising the number 11 banner into the rafters and retiring Mike Gartner's number. So I was like, yeah, I planned it. Who wouldn't have a mustache on Mike Gartner night?
There we go.
I still have the pin upstairs.
Nice. Also, the SPHL announced their format for playoffs. Again, pick your poison. Pick your poison.
I can't wait until the SPHL just goes, fuck it. We're going to have our playoffs to start the season, and then we're going to play the regular season after it's over.
We're going to figure got a champion, and then the regular season's afterwards. Suck a dick. There we go.
They're like, we're gonna try something new. Every team makes the playoffs, bracket style. We're gonna play this for 3 months, and then we're gonna play 40 games. Let's go.
We're gonna do round robins for 3 months, and there we go. Go.
It turns into a World Cup of playoffs.
Oh my god.
It's just a Giants fucking Silver Sticks tournament.
Why aren't we commissioners of a league?
That's why.
Mm-hmm.
It sells though. Miles.
Oh,
it's all that we need to do.
You know, well, it would
Sells.
attract interest. It would attract interest. I can't deny that.
$10 beer night.
There you go. There you go. That's yeah. Okay, we attracted them with the sizzle. Now the dollar beer night is the steak. There you go.
Yeah.
As long as it's not tainted.
Yeah.
All right, Lyle. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. Thank you for joining us again.
Always a pleasure, guys. I'm gonna
Next week we're gonna do early 2000s. I guarantee we'll do early 2000s team.
And I'm coming on early for that
That's
one.
right, you are. You are coming on early as Adam scores
Oh,
you.
as long as I confirm. So I'm going to confirm on Monday.
Okay. Okay, you can shoot me and let me know, and then I'll mark it down in my day planner.
There you
for
go.
Next
Do you,
Wednesday.
you still have one that you write in?
He's old school.
You
Friggin'
didn't
right.
get a like. Why? Where's your Palm Pilot?
I don't have the Palm Pilot. I have this, but I prefer
Oh.
keeping track of my stuff with this because this is what I used in the military. I use these sort of things in the military to keep track of things every day. And
My
I
dad
just
still
get over
does
with
that. Like he does. He has his old day planner, writes down everything, and it's definitely a different mentality.
It is. It just goes back to that. It's like I said. I have techno joy, as you can tell. I have techno joy, but there's just some things that I just got used to doing years ago, and I don't know, just prefer it that
Fair
way.
enough, sir.
All right. Well, I'll send you a letter so that
Thank
you'll
you.
know that if you're on early or not on Wednesday.
Express mail that to me, so I'll get it.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
time
it'll
for the
be
show.
overnight.
Carrier
I might
pigeon.
drive it there. I might drive it there just for shits and giggles. Bring it
All
there
right.
and drive back.
There you go.
All right.
Buy a Pony Express. Have a good week, guys. Talk to you next week.
Bye, Lyle. There he goes. Lyle Richardson, SpectresHockey.net, at Spectres Hockey on Twitter for all the stuff that he writes for there.
That was
Johnny.
good, Scotty.
Yeah,
nice work.
Who
One night you need to send me what the game is. Like just pick like a random thing or something. I'll find
Yeah.
the game and then I'll be the host. And we'll
That's
do
right.
between the 96 and 99 years.
Yeah, perfect. During my heyday.
I'm gonna give a shout out to Lids.
Mhm.
I tried. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna buy this jersey when it was like $200. And if you just wait long enough and you're small, then you get lots of money off of things. So it's a nice jersey. The Adidas, the authentic Adidas jerseys are fantastic. I haven't bought a hockey jersey in years. I've bought 4 this year. One of them's the Gretzky jersey though, which I have upstairs, which I will break out at a date to be named later.
Mhm.
I'll give a what else? I'll give a shout out to Evolve 112. It was a good show. I'll give a shout out to the Velveteen Dream. I know the Velveteen Dream doesn't need a shout out from someone like me, but the dream lives on. And I'll give a shout out to Scotty using the internet to find out that this just says Blue Ribbon.
Mhm.
So thank you, Scotty. Nice work.
Hell yeah, no problem, buddy.
Let's see what random song I figure out to play on the way out tonight.
And in what part you get to play it at?
Yeah, it's always the fun part.
All right. Shout out to I'll give a shout out to Lids. Good job. Good effort. Shout out to Wendy's because the Baconator is Monday. Shout out to Todd Butts who might be seeing him this week. That'll be cool. And shout out to the Maryland Black Bears. Their first game's on the 14th. Go out to Odenton if you're in the Maryland area to see it. Support your team. and check out Chesapeake Hockey Week on Tuesdays. So huzzah for that. That's it. That's all. We're done. For Johnny P, I'm Scotty Waz. Take care of yourself and someone else. It's been Face Off Hockey Show on Blog Talk Radio. Yeah, you can hit us up there. You can hit us Blog Talk Radio, FOHS Radio, Facebook FOHS Radio, Twitter FOHS Radio, Patreon Face Off Hockey Show. Really couldn't switch that. Switch it and reverse it. Oh well. Thanks, guys. Till next week. Peace.
Grab a fistful in the middle of turning it out, respected and destined for earning more clout, subsequent to where you're headed, choose another route, hiatus in Australia with the dark stout, boards on the buses, trying to get a ride, the bush weed stashing, trying to get us high, discovering a lot about how and why, and if you don't know, then you're causing 5, it's like the losers.